lost a lot lately. Well, I can see why. A violent storm caused you to take a vow to become a monk, and lo and behold, you did. Much to your father's dismay, you gave up a career in law.
It's not that, well, I don't know. I feel I'm having trouble with my faith. I don't know where I stand with God.
Luther, you live the life of a monk, a harsh life. Praying scripture, writing, and everything else to do with a monk. You lecture at the University of Wittenberg. What more could you be missing?
The whole church has become corrupt. I've seen some priests living luxurious lives, and even worse, indulgences.
But indulgences are banned here in Germany.
Even so, they're selling them, across the border and everywhere else. From what I hear, a man named Johann Tetzel is particularly overzealous about selling them.
Indulgences get your indulgence here. The moment the money tinkles in the collecting box, the soul flies out of purgatory. Indulgences get your indulgences here. The moment money tinkles in the box, the soul goes flying out of purgatory. Yes.
What are indulgences?
Glad you asked, my dear. You know what purgatory is, don't you?
Well, of course I do. If a person has sinned but not enough to go to hell, then their soul is sent to purgatory, where they are burned horribly for 1,000 years until they can go to heaven.
That's quite good. What if I told you you could send your loved ones out of purgatory and straight into heaven?
You can do that?
Of course I can. With our help of Blessed Pope Leo X, he's authorized to sell indulgences. What they are is you pay some money, and every time the second a penny goes in the collecting box, the soul of your loved one flies right out of purgatory straight into heaven.
Truly? You can do that for me and my family?
Truly, gets even better. If you want to pay a little bit extra, we can forgive you for your sins that you have committed. Even more, we can forgive you for the sins you haven't committed yet. Would you like one? Yes! Okay, alright then. Yes, dear. Money clinks on rocks and a soul flies out of purgatory to get your indulgences, ma'am.
I can have that baby out of wedlock
No,
now!
wait, ma'am, that's 4 pence. Sorry, not 3 pence. Yes. Now you go home and have that little baby. Thank you for you can enjoy the indulgence. Indulgences here, indulgences. The moment the money tinkles in the collecting box, the soul flies out of purgatory.
Those indulgences are worthless and immoral. Well, and if you're so fueled by a desire to talk about this sort of thing, why not come up with a debate about it? With a list of things you want to debate about with the church.
Well, that does sound like a good idea. I think I'll do that. Thank you, Marcus.
You're welcome.
Well, I did it. I went and nailed a copy of my thesis to the church door in Wittenberg.
Well, that will surely cause some debate. How many theses are there?
95 in all.
Really?
Yes, really. See? Here's a copy. Well, there are 2 main points that I believe should be debated. One is that the selling of indulgences is wrong and will never get you into heaven. I believe salvation is by faith alone. Sola fide.
And the second point?
The Bible is the ultimate authority on matters. I'm not saying that the church is not important, but every man can be his own priest. Why, I don't see why the Bible can't be printed in German rather than just Latin. That way everyone can read it and interpret it themselves.
Well, those ideas certainly aren't new. Erasmus, you know that old scholar who wrote Women Can't Live With Him, Can't Live Without Him? Jan Hus, too. That Czech chap who was executed over 100 years ago praised some different ideas about the church.
Well, I am nothing like him. My ideas are simply coming from the Bible. They're less than ideas, even. They're facts. I'm hoping that it stirs some good debate. Perhaps I can even use that Gutenberg press to print multiple copies of my theses, if my fellow theologians want copies of my ideas.
Well, I look forward to the debate. I just don't know what would happen if these were to be made public, if the common folk could understand them. You just might have a Reformation on your hands.
Well, if the church were to be reformed, it would be all for the best, I think. Come on now, we've got to get back to the church.